Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Play Masters of Magic! Tips and tricks and units in the start. We all know the problem. You start a new game and your units are, how do I put it? Let me show you. Not the strongest. Well, as you see here, well, this is Halfling Swordsmen. Halflings are not the best fighters in the world. They've got a little bonus to their attack rolls, armor and resistance, but let's be honest, this guy's not gonna cut it. He's gonna cut no one, to be precise. When we look at the unit tree in the city itself, with the halflings for example, our best unit is the slinger. You know that some races have more units than others? This is all the units the halflings have. For example, if you have got beastmen, this is almost another complete side of this with troops, with minotaurs and chimeras and manticores, excuse me, and stuff like that. They're much more powerful in combat. These guys are not gonna cut it. I mean, ranged attack 2. Let's look at the halfling. He's got bowman, he's got ranged attack 2. The only thing he has more is more armor. That's it. And 2 more figures, so he does 2 times more true damage. What I want to say is that with this guys, if you're going for war, if you want to clear a dungeon, if you want to take a city with halflings, that will be hard work. That will be hard work with most of the races you have at your disposal. On the offside, or on the bright side of the world, so to speak. So what can you do? First idea is to summon creatures, right? Well, problem with that is the creatures that you can summon take a lot of time to call, most of the time, and they're not that effective. Look at the sprites. Now you can say she's a flying ranged fighter. That is true, but she only does 3 damage, so she's not gonna kill most of the enemies you want. And you would be surprised how many units can attack flying units. For example, hellhounds can. A lot of units can, and she's not gonna take it very well with 1 hit points and 2 armor. Besides that, what you of course can do is spend all her ammunition, because she only has 4 shots, and then wait the battle out, enter the battle again, and fight the enemy again, and make a war of attrition. But you can only attack so many times each turn as you have movement points. So 3 times in this time. And then you have to wait another turn, and hope the enemy has no regeneration, because if he has, this tactic will not work.
Wait. What is a Naga?
Yeah, we'll come to that. The warbears are cheaper, and at the first look far more powerful, because these guys are troops that you regularly encounter in dungeons. They're capable, they do a lot of damage, they take damage relatively well, and they have a very low upkeep. When you look at it, the little blue star says 2 mana, and these are 3. Even though these are far more durable and far more damaging. However, they have no regeneration or anything like that, and they will not win a lot of battles before dying, or you have to rest them for a very long time. When you look at hellhounds, that is a very irregular enemy. These guys are not very good at taking it. No way, sadly. But they're cheap. But if you start calling units just to spend them in battle, you will run out of mana very, very fast. Now, the Naga, as you see, is as expensive as the sprites are. They're not ranged fighters, but what they are is poisonous, they're durable, and they do good damage. Still, far too expensive to call. Your magic spirit, everyone can call that. That is just this. This guy is not built for fighting. He can do other stuff.
Why?
Well,
Why isn't he built for fighting?
Well, he can fight a little bit.
He has 5 damage, 4 armor, and 10 hit points.
Yes, good question. I'll show you. He is only 1. When you see the little blue figure in the upper right corner of his unit, means he's 1. That means yes, he has 10 hit points, and as long as the 10 hit points are not spent, he is fighting with full strength. However, he's only doing 5 damage, whereas these guys are 4, so they do 4 times 3, which means 12, more than double. When you look at these fellas, they do 2 times 4, means 8 more. When you look at these monsters, this do 2 times 7, which 14. Is 14. Of course, it's more practical if you have one guy with a lot of attack and the other has a lot of armor, because the armor is deducted per attack. So high armor is good against enemies that do normal damage with a lot of people, but it will be less effective against one enemy who does a lot of damage in one swing.
And you know, I was playing Planetfall. I always played a Kurko. I think there's Kurko here.
Yeah, the Clackmans. They're a little bit like
I
Kurko.
smell Kurko.
So, of course, the first idea is to build a combination of flying and ranged attack. Your primary option is the Sprite, because he's the only one who can do that. Yes, you can build Draconians with bows, but they're not very good bowmen, for one, and they're a little bit harder to build. Now, you see, it takes 18 turns to call one Sprite. We could put all our mana just to call it faster, then it's 7 turns until it's over. So this will be hard pressed. It takes 7 turns to get our first unit out that can do something, because you can be sure as hell that these guys are not going to win any war of any sort. Oh, there's no one to fight here. Okay, now it's 5.
Can win.
Now it's 5 turns, because we can only spend a certain amount of mana each turn for calling creatures. It's limited by the amount of mana we have and gain each turn, and by the amount we can spend each turn. That has to do with your power. At the Mauer, our casting skill is 18, so that's the maximum magic points or mana points we can spend each turn on calling a creature. For example, if we decided to call Hellhounds, it would be 2 turns and we had them, or 3 turns for War Bears. Still, this is not gonna make us happy, so different approach maybe. So what we need here is the combination of a Conjurer that makes it cheaper to call creatures, and then a lot of Chaos Magic. Why? Because you need at least, I think it's 9 books? I think it's 10 books. So we can take, for example, Archmage on top. Oh no, we take Chaos Mastery, trust me on this. Conjurer, 25% cheaper to cast to summon units, and Chaos Mastery 15% cheaper to cast chaos spells. And then we don't take the gargoyles, even though they're fun. We're taking the Fire Giant. And let's see what happens. We take a race that is good at producing mana, because that's what we need. The elves repopulate slower, and their combat abilities, although better than the halflings, is not that much better, but let me show you. And here we go. The Fire Giant. It takes 8 turns in the beginning, but if you put all your production into mana, it is 3 turns until you have a Fire Giant. Now let's look at the troops of the High Elves, for example. They're a little bit more capable than the halflings are, but only minimal. When we look at their highest units, we're talking, because now it gets a lot more powerful. They have magicians, they have Pegasi, which are, as you can see, flyers and ranged fighters, and they're far more damaging, more than twice as damaging as the halflings are. Far better armored, more hit points. Only 2 of them though, so this is a total of 10 hit points. The Elven Lords, capable. And you look at this, armor piercing, first strike, they're fast through woods, very capable. Of course, the mages, missile immunity, hit chance, magic attack. So if you go for high elves, they're capable, no question. But they're very costly to build though. So let's pick a research. I don't really care. We'll take the Flame Blade because we can increase our attack with that. And we'll just tell these guys to stay down, because this is just for the demonstration. And we've got a Fire Giant. Now notice, we got this guy faster than we did get the flying fairy thingies. And this guy here, he's capable. Boy, is he capable. Yes, he's only got 2 shots, but boy, does he damage. He's got a lot of hit points. He's got a lot of armor. He's got a lot of attack. He's got fire immunity. He's a mountaineer, and he's a wall crusher. Not that you need that. And his upkeep is the same as the little flying googly thingily. So, Isn't that an idea? I think it is. And look at the speed of this thing. Shabbats. I'm not entirely sure about the shield. That looks a little bit Spartan to me, because I think that is the Laconia, the sigma of Sparta. Oh, we get gifts. I will not take the spirit because I don't like the spirit. I take the mana, and guess what? We can call in the next fire giant immediately. It takes 4 turns because we now get a little bit less mana because we're spending 3 mana on the big guy. But, yeah, I mean, look at this monster. Do not underestimate skeletons. 4 armor and 3 damage in a pile of 6 of them. That is a lot of damage. That is 18 damage. Okay, that's camera performance for you. But trust me, this guy will wreak havoc among them. Now we're out of ammunition, but that's not bad, trust me, that's okay. Oh boy, this is really a camera thing. Normally it goes a lot better. But the good thing is they're getting weaker every turn because they lose attack power, and I don't because I'm a one big guy. So if I get weakened, it doesn't really good. And we won. 60 mana, he will be ready in 2 turns. And he will heal. Look at that, he's got 6 hit points. We'll make a great turn. And he's got 7, so he's healing. So if you go for the summoning, I would take this path. There is one big caveat though. Both the flying spirit and the fire giant are fantastic creatures, so they will never level up. That is a problem. What can we do about that? Well, we can do about that the use of normal units. However, there is one more trick I want to show you before that. Now, you say, Boris, I like my normal units. I don't want to spend something on summoning. I don't want to summon creatures. Is there another way that I can make my troops useful? Oh, yes, there is. There is. Trust me. So we're putting, again, 10 books into, well, 10 books into a death. I think 1 less will not cut it. Let's spend the rest of the points somewhere. We don't care. No, we need 10 books, of course. 10 books, 10 books. So, and for the last 2, we could take the Archmage and mana focusing. Yeah, it would work. And then we're taking Lycanthropy. What is that? I'll show you. Now we need someone who is... It's actually not important how good the troops are, because we're not really using the troops. We could use the halflings, and you will see what I mean in a second. So again, here we are, and we have halflings. We've already proved that halflings are not the best troops that we can have. Yes, you can buff them up if you're later in the game and train them up so that they become deadly, but let's be honest, this guy is not worth his salt. So what can we do about that? Let's first move the settler away. Ah, we moved them entirely, no problem. And we start casting the Lycanthropy. The problem is, you can see that the fire giant, that this takes a very long time. It takes 10 turns to make this work. So let's skip ahead 10 turns. So here we go. Now we have Lycanthropy ready. So our guys here, for example, are not capable of beating these guys. No way in hell. But if we make lycanthropes out of them, now look at that. Cold immunity, weapon immunity, poison immunity, illusion immunity, death immunity. That doesn't mean they're immune to death. That was Willie's and my first guess, but of course it's not. They're immune to death spells and fear. Weapon immunity doesn't mean they're completely immune to weapons. They're only immune to normal weapons with an armor. Well, they're not immune. They have an armor of 10 against normal weapons. Please look at their normal armor. don't expect these guys to over perform. Because while they're doing good damage, there's 6 of them with 5 damage each, so they're doing about 30 damage each turn. They're not very good at taking the damage. They have a lot of units, and they have 5 hits per unit, but their armor is abyssal. Furthermore, they're fantastic creatures as well. They can no longer gain experience. So, these guys here have an upkeep of 1 gold and 1 food. For someone who does no job, that's pretty expensive. These guys have an upkeep of 5 mana. That's more than the fire giant is. So keep that in mind. However, these guys are capable. Problem is, normal weapon immunity helps you mostly against cities and other races. It helps not against any kind of fantastic creatures that are, for example, undead. Everything that is not a normal unit. Now look at that. They all died instantly. We got a little bit wounded, of course, in the counterattack, but we're still okay. And now it gets dangerous, so we're moving backwards because we can do something they can't. We can run away really fast. Why is that important? Well, you might see that we're healing. Werewolves have regeneration. That means not only we heal 1 point of health in battle each turn, we also heal after the battle completely, and we also, if we win the fight, for example, if we had 2 werewolf units and one of them would be killed but we still win the fight, the wounded unit will come back after the fight. As long as you win, units with regeneration will join your side. And they're all dead. And then look at that, we're completely healed. I can make another Lycanthropy unit. So, but please keep in mind that these guys are mainly effective against other races. They're not as effective against any kind of summoned creature or fantastical creatures. And sprites, skeletons, zombies, warbears, spiders, these are all fantastical creatures, because everything that is not natural or that is not a race unit is a fantastic unit. So, for 1, no experience. For second, these guys will die relatively easy if you do not keep them moving. The trick is, like with the trolls, run away, fight, run away, fight, run away, fight, run away. They have a movement of 3, where the normal trolls only have 2, so running away, as you have seen, just running away and regenerating is a lot easier with them than with the trolls. There is yet another solution. That solution is death, so to speak, figure of speech. What we're going to do is, you cannot do the chaos and conjure trick that you did with the chaos, because that doesn't exist for death. You have infernal power, which is not exactly the same as chaos mastery, because it doesn't make it cheaper for you to cast spells. It only allows you to get more unrest effect or anti-unrest effect from your buildings. However, that's how it is. With 12 books, I think 11 books should be enough. We can make 1 into conjuring. We can choose from the highest. So we have the ghouls. We don't take the lycanthropes this time. We take the wraith. And from this, doesn't make that much of a difference. Shadowy demons. They're flying and ranged attacks, so that would be fun. Let's take them just for demonstration, and the Night Stalkers, and then I'll show you what we can do here. As race, we need someone who produces mana for this one. So, here we are. Now, first idea, of course, is the ghouls. If you create ghouls, they can create undead. That's their specialty. The problem is, undead do not heal, with one notable exception. If you have a unit that you kill that rises as undead, that is in fact regenerating trolls, they still heal after each battle. In all other cases, your undead will die relatively fast because they cannot heal in any way. No by time, no by nothing. They can't heal. They just stay damaged as they are. There is a way to use this. For example, if you make ranged fighters undead, or if you make magic units, spellcasting units undead, that would work, because they normally don't get damaged that much. But you get the drift. The backbone, or the bad thing, not the backbone, the bad thing about undead units is that they don't heal in any way. You can see the Wraith is terrifyingly expensive. He has the same ability. If he kills someone with life stealing with his normal attacks, there is a chance that he comes back as an undead. This guy has armor 6, damage 7, and 4 men in his unit. So that guy is absolutely insanely dangerous. Although pretty hard to summon. If you do that, it's 44 turns. If you put all your love into it, it's 17 turns. Now that's boy a lot. We can take the ghoul just to show you the undead thing. But in order to do that, we have to look a little bit around if there is someone that we can make actually undead. It doesn't matter what we take here at the moment. You don't build anything. It's just for demonstration's sake. So here it's just go choices. Haha. So we can go deeper into the dungeon. Remember, if you do that and you run into someone that you can't find and you don't engage, the dungeon is gone anyway. So no deeper going if you're not fighting. So they can still move. If there's someone who can actually make undead, let's just cast another one for his sake. We'll use these guys as scouts. And, well, I look for something. So we go. We got our ghouls ready. And we'll fight personally. Just... I mean, these are halflings. This is not really a target, but you will know what I mean in a second. We're just going forward. Showing you the full potential and the full drawback of undead units. I mean, look at this. Look at this. These guys have no hope of survival. And they're all dead. We take the city, we don't care. Ah, it didn't work. It doesn't work all the time. Great. No problem. Now, here we go. Undead sprites. Let's have a look at them. So they still work as their normal units do. You can see that their upkeep now is higher. They're undead. They have a 50% higher upkeep in mana cost. If they're fantastic creatures, which they are. And they never heal. Nor normally, nor magically, nor any other way. Except for regeneration. So this is a very costly way to get troops. At the first it sounds pretty good, because it a little bit sounds like that what some races do in, for example, Might or Magic or others. That you recruit troops to your troops from the dead. And you get stronger with every fight, like you're playing the assembly in Planetfall or something like that. But that doesn't really work here, because the troops that you recruit from the dead are not healing in any sort of form. So if they're ranged fighters, this might be viable. In all other cases, I would not recommend it. With that being said, there is yet another way. The Troll way. So trolls have an ability that nobody else really has besides the Lycanthropes, and that is regeneration. And if you make them flying, they get faster. They normally have a speed of 2, and then they have a speed of 3, which means you can outmaneuver even most enemies that can attack flyers. You can simply retreat until you have healed, and then fight again, then retreat, and then heal again, and then retreat again, heal again. Simply because flying is so beautiful with trolls, because of their regeneration. You have 50 turns, and even if you don't kill the enemy in 50 turns, it will just cause as a draw, and you can start the battle or fight, or you can start the fight all over, with the benefit to you that you're fully healed, and the enemy, except you're fighting trolls of course, or lycanthropes, they're not. So you can wear the enemy down with this tactic, which is, I find it really impressive. spiders. This could be problematic because they can fly, but let me show you what I mean. I hope it works this time. Okay, so they web us. We don't care. Yeah, we cannot do anything at the beginning, but our magic resistance is really high. So we should get rid of that web in seconds. Oh, it cannot fly until the end of battle. That's a little bit problematic. And do we keep our mobility? We keep our mobility, so this is not that bad. Because the main part is here, not the flying, but the fact that we can... Oh, we can make them... Ah, that would ruin the experience. That would ruin the experience. Oh, they hit us. We took 3 damage, which is bad. So we start maneuvering around. They will be able to attack us again, but that's okay. Because we're trolls, we can take it. And we're healing as much as they're doing at the moment. And as you can see, I'm using one of the spiders basically as my shield. So that only one of them can always attack me. We could even run out of their range if we get too much damage. But so far it's looking pretty good. Oh, we lost one, but that's no problem. He will be back in a second. Trust me, we got this under control. The spider is now weakened by 50% of its firepower. See, we're back. He's dead. We lost one, but he will be back next turn. Everything's beautiful. We could move out of their range completely. If we get hit too bad, we could just get out of their range in one turn. We don't have to. Everything's fine. Let me show you what I mean. We run away. And again, this is 2 spiders. You normally would have no chance against these guys. And we're full at full strength. They've still not yet lost another unit, but they will in the next go, and we'll be happy. Better play it safe. I mean, this is for the camera. They should be healed next round for full. Yes, they are. Haha. He, however, is not. This technique it works against 70% of all enemies. It doesn't work against the superpowered units, of course, like Grand Dragons or stuff like that, or against units that can do more damage than he can actually take, because the armor is pretty bad. And guess what? We won. We won. He's at full health. He's beautiful. Everything's perfect. Now, where's the drawback in this one? Well, to get this on the road, you need 10 spellbooks, because flight is so high. Is there another way, Boris? There is. There is a cheaper alternative to the Flying Troll. The Flying Troll, in my eyes, is one of the most powerful combinations, but it has a caveat that you need 10 books, so if you're playing on the highest difficulty level and you only have 10 picks, this is not gonna work. However, there is a way to make it work, still close to it. And here we go. So, what do we cast? We cast Endurance. Can we make it a little bit quicker? Yes, we can. So what you need is... Let me have a look. 4 books. Well, 3 books would actually be enough in terms of life. And then you need the Murren. The rest is bonus on top. But basically what you need is 3 books life and Trolls. And we can research Holy Weapon or Blast. Both is very useful. I think we should take Blast because it's fastest research. And yeah, I think I just took that. So the idea now is the following. You have your troll, right? This troll can already fight a lot of enemies, like all normal races without problems, except they have mages and a lot of ranged fighters. Or units that walk more than 2. He can fight skeletons, he can fight ghouls, he can fight zombies, he can fight warbears, he can fight everything that doesn't move more than 2. So let's have a look around, for example. Let's send our settlers away. Oh, we can send or use our settlers as well. Make this for real. 60 gold. No real use for that at the moment. What do we have here? Yeah, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. This is, that would be too dangerous. What we have here. These guys would normally not be possible because they've got a movement of 3. So they would kill us. But next turn, we will kill them. Now, how would we do that, you ask? Oh, we can make a settlement here, why not? So. Now we are as fast as the enemy is. Again, computer says no chance. Of course not, because these guys are deadly as hell. But we have a specialty on our side. We can now move 3 as they do. And if I don't ruin this by any tactical mistake, we should be able to win this. Ah, sadly we cannot cast armor. That would have actually helped a lot. We have to separate them from each other. Just a little bit. We want one of them to be able to attack us, but not all of them. So if we go here, we should achieve that. Perfect. Now, normally they would wear us down, because the computer will just stay in place and try to fight it out with them. Of course, that's not what we're doing, because we're not stupid. We're using our newfound mobility. Normally, you could not run away with them, because they're simply too slow for that maneuver. But we're not. We're clever. We have endurance. We have one more movement. Then we have the same movement. So if we don't ruin this, they cannot catch up to us in any sort or form. Well, he can, but that's what we want. Oh, he can't because the others are blocking. Who needs these allies? But now, if the healthy don't move first, well, they do. Okay, we have to give them a little opportunity. Okay, that didn't go that well for us. It did go well for them, but I don't care about them. You run away. So this is a lot cheaper than the flying thing, and it works almost the same way. It doesn't work exactly the same way. There's still some problems that doesn't work exactly like that, but you know what I mean. It's close enough. Close enough to flying and a lot cheaper. I mean, it's 3 books in comparison to 10? I think that's pretty great. This is a little bit dangerous because now both can attack us, so we should go here. This way only they can attack us and the others cannot. Beautiful work. Down goes the doggy. These guys should not be able to reach us. He should be. Which is beautiful. Now we could attack, but that would be playing it risky, and why should we? We've got all the time in the world. It's only turn 12 of 50, so we can do this a long time. And just for you, here's victory. We do not want the bird. But what we want is holy armor. Holy boy, is that expensive. But it gives +2 armor, so that's quite a lot. And by the way, we're also now moving 3. So overland movement is not as fast as with flying. Again, it's not flying, but it's pretty close. Now, he could not fight that, because he could not outrun them. He doesn't have endurance, but the troll with endurance can beat these guys. He can beat bears, he can beat a lot of guys without problems, even spiders. So, I hope you liked it. See you all next time. Bye!